What's going on, folks? Welcome to the Trade Well podcast, brought to you by Trade Well Management. I am your host, Donovan Marquez, the podcast where we discuss everything trading these financial markets, as well as acting as a personal trading journey and road to profitability. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Trade Well podcast. I'm Donovan Marquez, and today we are diving into one of the biggest questions that I always get. What asset should you trade? Now, there are a lot of choices out there like stocks, Forex, futures, even crypto. But which one is best for you? In this episode, we'll cover what the basics of each asset type is so you can pick the one that makes the most sense for your style and goals. So let's get right into it. So first off, I want to start with one of the most popular options that most people think about when they think about day trading, and that is stocks. This is one of the most popular types of trading, and for a good reason. When you're trading stocks, you're buying and selling shares of companies like, let's say, the biggest ones, right? Apple, Google, or even Tesla. Stocks are usually easy to understand since you're probably already familiar with the big companies that you are going to be trading. Now, here are the basics of trading stocks. I'm going to do a quick little rundown for you on each of these things. So, number one, you can trade a single company stock based on what's happening with that company. It's a bit more predictable than other markets. Now, what's on the flip side of that? Stocks can be more expensive to trade, though, especially for smaller accounts, because many are pricey and you'll need money to buy multiple shares. So just keep that one in mind. But stocks are a good place to start if you're new, because you can pick like a few familiar companies, focus on understanding how they move, and ultimately create a strategy around that. Now, next up, which seems to be social media's favorite thing to trade, and that is Forex, or currency trading. Now, this is where you trade one currency against another. Like, let's say we have the US dollar versus the euro, which is one of the most popular pairs to trade. The Forex market is huge. Way bigger than the stock market, and it runs 24 hours a day, so you can trade anytime, even outside regular stock market hours. Now let's do a quick breakdown of Forex so you can kind of get the gist. So the pros. Since Forex markets are always open, you can trade them any time of day. Also, you can start with smaller amounts of money, making it very beginner friendly in that sense. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, what's on the flip of that coin? Forex can be a bit more unpredictable because it's influenced by global news and events like economic reports or political changes. So if you're not really up to speed on world news, depending on what pair you're trading, it can get a bit tricky. Now, Forex trading is fast-paced and can be exciting, but it requires you to stay up to date on global events. But it is great for traders who like action and having a flexible schedule, since it does run 24 hours a day. Now, number 3, which is the one I trade currently, and that is futures. Now, futures trading is a little different. Instead of trading individual stocks or currencies, which you can trade some of the stock market, and you can also trade futures currencies as well, or currency futures. I'm sorry. You're trading contracts based on the price of things like oil, gold, or stock prices. Now, here's a quick lowdown on futures. Pros. Futures can really be profitable because they move fast, and you can use something called leverage to control big amounts with a smaller amount of money. Now, don't get too excited, because the flip of that coin is that the same leverage can be a double-edged sword, guys. Okay? It means that while you can make bigger profits, you can also lose money quickly if that trade goes against you. So make sure you keep that in mind. Now, Futures trading might be interesting for those who have some experience and like to trade for shorter periods with higher stakes. But if you are just getting started, you might get more comfortable before jumping into futures. Now, I personally didn't start with stocks. I bought stocks. I invested in stocks, but as far as active trading, I got into Forex because, like I said, that's the social media sweetheart. You know what I mean? So if you go back to one of my very first episodes on how I discovered trading, it explains it all in there. But I started with Forex. You don't have to go that route, so just depending on which one works for you. Now, moving on. So, which market should you choose? With all these options, how do you choose the right one? Well, I'll give you a few tips for that. Number one, start simple. If you're a total beginner, if you've never traded before, ever, start with stocks or even Forex, I'll say. They're easier to understand and more stable than futures, because futures can be a little crazy. So can Forex, though, by the way. Actually, all markets, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. All markets can be kind of crazy. So you can either start with stocks or like Forex and just get used to what you are trading. Now, number two, think about your schedule. This is a big one, though. If you want to trade outside of regular hours, Forex might be good because you can trade outside of normal stock market hours. You can trade overnight and all that stuff. So that's just all depending on your schedule and what fits best for you. Now, if you want a more focused, like honed in trading day and you can just be in the markets and zoned in for a few hours, kind of like a regular job almost, then futures could possibly work for you. Number three, consider risk. If you're okay with higher risk and you want quicker returns, you might like futures. But if you want to start slow, I'd say stick with stocks or Forex in the beginning. Now, that about wraps it up for this episode on choosing the right asset to trade. But remember, guys, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. It's about finding what works best for your goals, your style, and your comfort level. But next time, we'll cover building your trading routine. We're going to talk about how to start your day, what to focus on while trading, and how to wrap it all up and make it work for you. Now, if you found today's episode helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me a review anywhere that this podcast is hosted and share it. And feel free to reach out with any questions you may have. Thanks for tuning in to the Trade Well podcast. As always, stay sharp, stay steady, and trade well. We'll see you guys on the next one.